Okay, this last think aloud, strategy number 5, just scope out other resources. So I'm going to use the library, I'm going to use the page, the Canvas page as a guide to go through this last think aloud because there's so many things that the library has besides digital databases that you can access. So I wanted to let you know about the people and the departments and other resources within the library that might be useful towards your research. So first of all, we have library liaisons. And library liaisons are, each discipline has its own librarian. So no matter what discipline you are in, you will be able to find someone that can help you, and you can click the name to get to their email and get help. Another service within the library that's not directly related to the library, doesn't report to the library, but it's located in the library, is the University Writing Centers. And we have 2 of them. So there's an undergraduate writing center and there is a graduate writing center. The undergraduate writing center is on the 2nd floor, and the graduate writing center is in room 1180, which is the graduate reading room. Each one of these services has e-tutoring so that you can submit your writing for assistance from the writing consultants. It is located in the library but does not report to the library. Subject guides are really helpful guides that are created by librarians. So for example, all of these topics, there are guides for every discipline, but there's also guides for, like, here's one on children's books, one on consumer health, so one on copyright. So these guides are created by librarians as kind of a jumping off point for you to, here's one on fundamentals of academic authorship in the US, and Allison Maurer is our copyright librarian. So those are really helpful guides where the librarians have put together resources that they think are the most valuable for you to have. Some other things you can look at there's a library guide for a literature review. There's one for literature review in the health sciences. The library does offer workshops, and we don't have anything posted here right now, but we will be doing some online workshops coming up in the fall. So stay tuned for those. Interlibrary loan, this is my favorite place. So don't ever pay for an article through interlibrary loan. If you can't find a full text article that you need for your research, you log on with your unit and then fill out the form with what you're looking for, and they will help you find it for free. Suggest a purchase and media. If you're teaching and you need media for your class, you can order it through this form. You just log in with your unit. Also suggest a purchase if there's a book that you find that you think the library would really benefit the library collection. You can also request a purchase. During these times of COVID, that's really hard to do, but that is a good thing. We do have a library guide for getting additional books during COVID if you're also interested in that. Special collections and digital media collections have primary resources. So this is the Digital Library Collection, and they have some really interesting collections. Photos. They're doing a Utah COVID collection. There's a featured digital exhibit on a Salt Lake City-based newspaper that was published from 1872 to 1914. So there's a lot of really good primary resources. Sanborn fire maps are all the old fire maps from 1867 into the early 20th century. So these resources, depending on what your research topic is, you may be able to find some interesting things. We have a ski archive. There's an archive of Topaz, which was the Japanese internment camp. So there's some really neat topics, and you should go through and take a look at those. We also have a government documents collection, so you can find government docs. Depending on what you're looking for, you might be looking for statistics or historical information or reports from agencies like NASA. All of those can be found there. In addition to the Marriott Library, we do also have the Faust, James E. Faust College of Law Library, the Health Sciences Library, and the McKay Music Library. So there are 3 specialty libraries that you also might want to check out. When you're doing research, one of my big tips is to use the ProQuest thesis and dissertation database. So I call this kind of benefiting from your successful predecessors in your research. You can actually go into advanced search and look at just University of Utah theses, even down to who theses just by my advisor, if you're interested in that. Dissertations are not scholarly sources, but they are chock full of really good information. For example, the references. They often have over 100 references. So if you find a dissertation on your topic, it is a wealth of references. You can copy the titles and put them in Google Scholar. You also can look at what a good lit review looks like. So chapter 2 is usually the lit review in a dissertation. Chapter 1 is the introduction. If you're looking for a particular type of research, if you're looking for quantitative research, correlation research, qualitative research, autoethnography research, you can search those particular research methodologies to see the methods section, which is chapter 3. Okay. The university does have a data repository. So if you're collecting data and you would like to store your data at the university, we have a repository called the Hive. And I also have a link here for educational statistical data. Being the education librarian, I get a lot of requests from students who are looking for K-12 data from, say, Detroit or a city or a state, and I can help you find that data through the National NSSE Education Statistical Data. There's also a really cool website if you're looking for social data and COVID data called the Public Health Data. It's called 500 U.S. Cities. And you can select what you're looking for and then look at different major cities across the U.S. Okay, so these are all resources and people and departments that can also help you with your research needs. So just ask. And that's kind of the last section of this strategy 5 is scope out what is available. If you have questions, please contact me and let me know so I can help you. If you can't find what you're looking for, we can find some resources in other places. We do have a lot of resources. For example, a student I was working with last week was looking for oral histories, and we have oral history documents that have been scanned in that she could look at the oral history of Native Americans. So that we do have a lot of resources that are available. Okay, so take care and stay in touch and contact me if you have a question.